Everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Custom Apparel Startups Podcast. My name is Mark Stevenson.
And this is Mark Vila, and today we've got a particularly special guest. During this episode, we've got Randy Rickert from OKIData, and Mark Stevenson likes to describe him as the Pope of white toner printing.
I do like that. We're going to send him some new business cards.
And Randy's been in the printing industry on all different levels of the spectrum. He's got a ton of knowledge for, I don't know how many years, Randy, 40 years?
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you it was 1981. 1981, you could do the math.
Yeah. Wow. But he's been in this industry for a long time, so he knows a lot. And I think we're going to get some great knowledge, and we're going to discuss the white toner printer revolution and the relationship between OKIData and ColDesi and our team, and a whole bunch more. So I would say one thing. For those listening out there, this episode is not intended to be a sales pitch. Right. So because we want you to be educated about all of this stuff. And whenever we have folks on here that represent a product, we don't have the guest on here to try to get everybody at the end of it that we're trying to sell everybody. It's about knowledge, because when you've got the right knowledge, then you understand the technology and you can make the right business decision for yourself.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And just to put the position and you know, I put white toner revolution in the podcast title for a reason, and that's because, you know, it's changed not just ColDesi's business, because ColDesi's done extremely well with the Oki product line and selling the 920 and the 8432 and the 9541 printers under the Digital Heat FX brand. You know, I don't know if it's over 1,000 units or not, but it's a lot. And
it is.
The reason that we're able to do that, though, is because the Oki product lets an entirely new class of people get into the custom apparel and promotional products business. And that's really what the revolution is people that, and we sell a bunch of different stuff, right? We sell UV printers and DTG printers. We sell about 8 ways to make custom apparel and 4 ways to make promotional products. And it's not too much to say that this is become our main product. We sell more of these than anything else. And Randy's a big part of that. So I want to give props to you and then ask you, I'm going to put you on the spot and ask you to tell us a little bit about yourself and how you ended up with Oki before we get to some other questions.
Okay, well, let me see if I can go back that far. I started in 1981 with a company called NCAD, and they just made a large format printer, and it was the craziest times. But so I've been around a long time. I ran Mutoh twice, a large format printing company, and saw a lot of changes in the industry. And, you know, as the inks got better, the sales got better, and the printers became easier to use, and, you know, the rest is history. Make a long story short, they came after me at OKIData to start up a graphic arts division, and I was pretty much burned out flying back and forth to Japan 10 times a year for no reason.
Right.
So I took it, and the next thing I knew, I took over the transfer division, and I got to be honest with you, it's probably, and you're going to hate me because I'm pure sales and marketing. So
yeah,
I only talk like I sell, but I talk like I sell. It's probably the craziest printer I've ever been involved with so many applications. And it's kind of funny, when I started, all we were showing is t-shirts in our booth. And I said, you know what, guys, anybody can do a t-shirt. The nice thing about the white toner is you can do a t-shirt on black, which you can't do with sublimation. So, but how many people can sit at home making Christmas ornaments or coasters or print on a piece of wood right out of the store with no coating on it, and you don't have to worry if your printer's going to clog up with ink. So the opportunity's been, I've watched so many success stories at shows, it blows my mind. I learned something every day. And a really hot part of our product right now, and probably people wouldn't even think about this, is stickers and tattoos. crazy business, and
Okay.
people are making a lot of money doing it.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the things that we like to stress about the product all the time is, most of our customers, they want to get into the t-shirt business, right? That's why they come to us. But they end up doing so many other things, especially with the white toner transfers. One of the big deals for some of our customers, they almost only do wholesale. We've got at least 2 9541 customers that they don't even make t-shirts. They just sell transfers to other people with heat presses. Because those transfers are so versatile and they last so well, standard heat press and one of those transfers and you're ready to go.
Yeah. You know what? There's one thing I want to do. There's 2 things I have to say. One of them is just back up slightly and just like give a 30-second little overview of what we're talking about exactly when it comes to technology. So if you don't know exactly what we're referring to the OKIData white toner printers. Is kind of just as they've become to be called. But essentially what they do is you have a toner printer, so it does not use a liquid ink. And normally these printers have been known for just all the commercial, if you've seen a color copy machine, right? I mean, that's kind of what a color toner printer would be. It uses the powder that you got to shake type of thing. And that's what we've known for the past 20 years in this technology. So what OKIData had done was they had taken a white toner and put it into this printer. And then now you can print a transfer, or really anything else. You can print on a black piece of paper if you wanted to, but the main thing is you're printing out on transfer paper, and you're taking this print that includes not just all the colors of the rainbow, but also the white, and you can transfer this onto t-shirts plus all the other things that Randy had said. So that's this. This is a way to be able to create versatile transfers that are more than just what a lot of other transfers can do. Like some transfers can only be printed on polyester textiles, or can only be printed on wood or something like that. This type of toner transfer can be transferred onto tons of different things. We haven't even figured out everything you can transfer it to yet, probably.
Yep.
And then the second thing was guys were talking about, Randy had mentioned, like that he can only speak the way he sells with this stuff. And you had mentioned about the revolution. Well, the reason why all of this stuff is true and honest is because this is really very cool and exciting. And if you guys have seen me on the internet doing videos with the digital heat effects printers, because I'm in a ton of them, and in almost every video I say something about how much I love the printers and it's my favorite thing and all this stuff. And it's because it is. If there's an opportunity to do a video, the first thing I'm going to want to do a video on over all the things that we sell is a white toner video, an Oki printer video, because it is just fun and cool and easy, compared to so many other things. So there's a reason why all that's true.
Yeah, I think, am I on?
Yep.
Yeah.
No, I think that the most frustrating thing that people do in their lives is they open up a side business and it becomes their real business, but then they have to babysit their printers because if you don't run them, they clog up with ink. Well, my printer, you can put it in the closet and go around the world and come back and turn it on, and the first print that comes out is going to be a sellable print. And to me, that's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And I can print on anything. I'm the only one in the industry that can print on anything. So if you're not in this business, for $10,000, I'd be in the business. I got to be honest with you, but I'm getting too old, so I'm good.
We actually talk about that a lot. It's a running joke around ColDesi that 100% of the people that work in the building, from the receptionist to the guys in support and in accounting, they all actually want to go into the custom t-shirt business. Yeah. And it's all because you see what other people are doing and you see the equipment and the videos, and it looks easy, and it is easy, and it's just an exciting business to be in.
Yeah, I just like I like being in front of the camera and listening to myself talk too much. That the machines don't listen to me.
No,
And yet you make yourself you make you and your family t-shirts all the time.
I love making t-shirts. I will be making t-shirts probably when we're done with this, if not tomorrow. I always have a short list of shirts that I have to make for everyone that I know. So.
Yeah.
Well, I always get impressed when people come up to the booth at the trade show and they'll say, you know what, I saw you last year at the show. I bought a printer and I don't even hardly do t-shirts anymore. I'm doing all this other stuff that is mind-boggling. And every single time I find out something different, I'm going, you printed on that? Like you printed on that. I mean, you know what I mean? They're going, oh, I sell, I put it on quilts. And I go, quilts? You know,
right.
I can't even wrap my head around it. So
yeah.
and exciting.
Actually, that's a great application. It's one of our customers that does, family photos. She'll take a photo and she'll print it on a quilt, or she'll take, on one of the squares or on more than one squares and just, sew it right into a quilt.
So, it's crazy.
Well, one thing that I wanted to talk about in this was kind of the concept of why it's a revolution. And I'm curious on kind of your guys' thoughts about it too. But one of the reasons why I think, Mark, when you put that these OKIData white toner printers are a revolution, is because there were so many problems in the t-shirt and other promotional items and things like that world, where you had to own at least 3 or 4 technologies to be able to do a full gamut of what your customers wanted, right? So if they wanted a digital image, like a picture of their kids on a t-shirt, right? You either had to have a direct-to-garment printer or like a sublimation system, right? On your direct-to-garment printer, you could only do cotton. On your sublimation system, you can only do the polyester, right?
Yep.
And then, so now you're kind of this back and forth. Why can't my customer wants both of those somewhere in the middle? I can't do that. And then you have this one-off customer who wants to, oh, can you make me some mugs, or can you make me, this wooden sign, right? And you can't do that. Then you want to do something, a one color design, right? Which was really easy with, say, screen printing, and you can screen print on almost everything, right? But the setup's forever. So your customer says, I just want 10 t-shirts with white letters on the front that say this, right? A screen print application theoretically is perfect for that, but not for 10 shirts.
Yeah.
So this system, and then of course you mentioned the maintenance. The screen printing's messy. If you don't know what it is, it's a huge mess. It's hazmat. It is literally. It literally is. You have to have stickers on walls, right?
Yeah.
Because of the dangerous stuff, and you have to have trucks come and pick up these chemicals or dump them illegally, which is just terrible, right? So you would say that white shirt, screen printing's perfect. Well, it's a mess. It takes too long. The setup's too much, right? So it's really great that this system allows you could do all of that, which is very cool, and which is why I think it's the revolution. It's one piece of equipment that's reasonably affordable for an existing shop or a new business. And then all of that combined with, there's no liquids involved. Yeah. And every other system that I just mentioned there is a liquid system, and liquids are inherently harder to deal with than anything else when it comes to, I guess, really just anything in general, right?
Yeah. I mean, they talk about it as a white toner LED printer, but really it's basically the same as a color laser printer. Right. If you've ever had a color laser printer in your house or in your office, it requires the same kind of maintenance. So, what is that maintenance? I don't know. I've never done any. Mm-hmm. That it's really one of the things that makes it. A couple of things that makes it the revolution is the idea that Randy's right. There's no time limit on using it. You can unplug it, stick it in a closet, come back a year later, plug it in, and print. It's not going to be affected by time. It's got a much wider range of temperature compatibility. You don't have to worry as much about temperature as you do with liquid ink technologies, and it's much more. It's much more self-contained. So, for example, if you've got screen printing, you've got a garage rack full of buckets of different screen printing ink. if you've got DTG and you're using a bulk ink system, then you've got bottles of ink, you've got a pre-treat machine, or you've got a separate sprayer and pre-treat area. So, if somebody wants to develop their business out of an apartment or out of a back bedroom or out of a rental property or something like that, you're not going to be able to set up a full-fledged old-fashioned DTG outfit or a screen printing outfit in a corner room in your apartment. You are going to be able to put a heat press and an 8432 in there or a 9541 in there. If you want to take something to a trade show, it's difficult to transport anything that uses liquids, and forget doing anything more than a one screen system, bringing it on the road. But, you can put a 9541 in the back of an SUV or an 8432 and just carry it out and set it on the table and start printing if you want to.
Yeah. And you bring one box of paper.
One box of paper.
So I have I've got the Graphtec cutter and our heat press here, and I've been doing some videos and things like that, using that technology, which I love all the technologies for their own right. And but when I had to load up my car, so first I had the cutter, which was easy to put in my trunk, equivalent to like if I had to put a printer in my trunk. Then I put the heat press, which is much heavier than both. And then I went in and got the vinyl, roll, box, and I got a corner filled with rolls of stuff, scraps of material. It's a pain in the butt to keep around. Where if I would have been able to grab a printer, I would just have the printer and a box of paper and the heat press, and that would be the end of it. So the portability of it's pretty huge just in that regard too, is the supplies are easy.
Well, you know what the bottom line is? Everybody wants to start a side business. I think it's everybody's dream to own their own company.
Yep.
Do many people do it? Not really, if you look at how many people are in the United States. But it's the only business that I've ever been around where you can start a business and you could put it aside and go away from the business, and you can come back to it and start the business, and all your friends will go, you can really do that? And you're going to say, you don't have one? And you're not going to know anyone that has one. And that's what's pretty amazing about the technology. We have thousands in the field amongst millions of people.
Yeah.
So if you're going to do something, this is literally what I would do.
Yeah.
And I don't even know why I didn't do it.
So I want some folks that are listening to this. Some folks might already have this system, and some folks might be considering getting it in the near future. Randy's always got some really good ideas. I've had a bunch of meetings with Randy. We've had a long car ride together, and every time we hang out, he's got like 4 ideas that he throws at me. If somebody would have just do this. So I'm asking you, Randy, do you have an idea or two that you can share out to the select few people who've made it this far into our podcast and dealt with the 3 of us that can maybe make them some cash next year?
All right, I'll tell you what you do. So you go to your local high school and you tell them that you want to have their logo, because you can't get college logos. Colleges are crazy, but high schools will give you their logo. Go back to your printer, print up a whole bunch of tattoos, and ask them if you can set up a booth when they go into the football stadium. And all you want to do is sell them a tattoo, put it on their forehead, get $4, kick back $1 to the school, put $1.50 in your pocket. And I think you'll be blown away on how much money you can make. Blown away, because everybody will want a tattoo on their head. Maybe not the first game, and maybe not the second game. By the 3rd game, you're going to make a lot of money.
Yeah,
and it's
I
crazy
think that's a good one.
because you don't need a press, so you just sit there, put it in water, put it on their head.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like that one. And then what I love about all this stuff is like all the different things you could do with this printer are doors into other things. So now you've become the tattoo guy or the tattoo lady at the school. And then you could say, well, actually, I'm also a t-shirt guy.
Yeah.
And I'm also, this, and then all of a sudden people know you, and you could really grow your business through referral things. We just finished a podcast about selling. And one of the things we talked about in that podcast was that you need to have a specific audience of people that you're talking to, right? And that's who you can sell to based on what you do. If you have an embroidery machine, you have this audience, so on and so forth, right? So the Oki printer has a really wide audience of folks you can sell to for the investment. That's what's cool about it. That's a cool thing, you know?
Well, if you, I don't know about where everybody lives. It's on this podcast. I live in Arizona, so we all have HOAs. And if you own one of these printers and you go to your HOA and you tell your HOA, I get a thing every month, what's going on in the neighborhood. Tell them you can print Christmas ornaments around October. Any name they want on the Christmas ornament, and you'll hand walk it to their home. I will bet you'll sell everybody in your HOA a Christmas ornament.
Nice.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Especially the fact that it's right there. I'm
going to walk into your house.
Yeah.
I'm going to walk into your house.
Yeah.
I mean, after you've been invited, I hope. It's not, it's not.
Oh, no. You go onto the Nextdoor app and you stalk them and find out where their house is. Then you just show up with a Christmas ornament and
Come on, everybody wants an old man like Randy to show up at the door.
No, usually fat and with a beard though. That's really the
yes, and demanding $9 for an ornament.
I haven't shaved, but you know what? I don't think I'm the only one on this podcast that hasn't.
No.
I did dye I dyed my beard though. That just happened.
Did you really? That's terrible.
Well, I had like 9 gray hairs that kept coming back, so I took some of the hair dye that was around here and I just hit that spot.
I don't even know what to say. The one thing that you can't do with an Oki printer, and Mark Vila thinks about it.
This is what happens when you stay at home.
Yeah, exactly.
You drift off target.
Yeah, I was just bored. I was bored, and they kept driving me nuts. So I was like, I'm going to do it. And I tried to figure out how to do it with the toner, but that just turned into a mess of toner all over my face and bathroom floor. It didn't work out.
Well, you know what? You just mentioned a funny word, toner. If you get an OKIData system, by the time you have to order toner, because people say to me, how much is it? I'll go, by the time you got to order toner, you'll be so happy. So money is no object at that point.
Yeah,
you'll have so much money in your pocket. I mean, you could do 13 to 16,000 T-shirts on a set of 9541. When you hit 16,000, I'll fly to your house. Congratulate you.
That's great.
Yeah, that's actually what I was hoping I was going to say that next. I wanted you to talk about the 9541 and how many prints you can get out of that. Can you elaborate a little bit more?
Well, there's nothing like it in the market. Look, we're the only 5-color printer in the world that can do 13 by 19 inch transfer printing in the world. And one of the biggest frustrations people have, especially screen printers, is they go, I need black. I know this looks good. It's composite black, but I need black. So when a screen printer buys my product, they don't buy the 8432, they buy the 9541 because it's CMYK white, the only one in the world. And I'll tell you the other good news. If you bring this to your home and it breaks down in the first 2 years, you don't have to ship it back to us. We'll come to your house.
Yeah.
And by the way, that's a big deal. Don't buy anything that you have to ship back to the manufacturer. Good luck.
Yeah. The Randy was mentioning about the warranty and getting on-site support. One of the things that ColDesi loves about this is really the printers are great. There's rarely there's not a lot mechanically to go wrong, right? It's toner and it's proven technology. What we spend a lot of time on is coaching people on how to use the different papers in the right application and coaching them on, how do I make a hat? How do I put it on a sleeve? What do I do when it's, 12 degrees outside, and I can't get my heat press to warm up? We get questions like that. We don't get a lot of, hey, my Oki is busted. Have somebody come and fix it.
Yeah. Well, you know what, Mark? I could speak to that if you want.
Yeah.
A lot of people go, OKIData, what do you even do? I never even heard the name. Well, I'll give you 3 things we do and you'll never forget. The next time you go to an airport and you check in, it's probably our printer printing your receipt out. If you go to Walgreens and you want to have a photo book, it's my printer. Okay. And the last thing is in November, when you go to the polls, most of the polls are my printer. Now, I hope you pulled the right lever, and I won't tell you who I'm voting.
That's great. I was going to say, Randy, I know OKIData because I was in the computer and software business back when that was the big name in dot matrix printers.
Mm-hmm.
So
still selling today. It's amazing.
Yeah. So it's a big company, and they've been in the printing industry for maybe longer than Randy has. I don't know.
We started the telephones in Japan. We were doing all the telephones, so
yeah,
we've been around a while. But you know what's really cool is that when you have a company that has straight paper path technology, and that's what we really have. So when you have a transfer piece of paper, it doesn't like to go up around loops. It's not made for that.
It's thick.
Right. So not only can you do everything we told you about on my printer, but you could walk up the street to a local restaurant and you could print their menus too, and they'll say I told you that.
Yeah. It's true. And because of the white toner, it's really interesting when you talk to people that might be in the photography business or they're in the wedding business. If you mention that you can actually print really high quality color, high quality white onto a black piece of paper, to do white printing on an invitation or a flyer, it's a big deal. You can help a company stand out in more than just their promotional products. You can help them with print materials as well.
Yeah. And what's really cool about this is you're a local business, and most small businesses that are printing businesses like this, whether you're printing t-shirts or whatever you're doing, they're serving your local market. And although folks can go online and get these things that we talked about, being able to deliver it locally is huge, because chances are, if you have a white toner printer, whether it's especially like the 9541 where it's a 5-channel system, you're probably the only one in your area that's got that.
Yeah.
Statistically, you're probably the only one.
You're going to be a lot of people's best friend.
Yeah, which you're going to be able to do stuff that they can't. And maybe the wedding, photographer that you're talking to has a place online where they order them a bunch, but when they're in the bind, you're always going to be that go-to person, because local stuff is huge. And we've done a lot of research recently on the desire for especially t-shirts and apparel, because that's what we focus on. But more and more, the on-demand is for local is growing. And when you have a printer like this, you set your business up in a position to do more than what most can locally and in small run. So you can have somebody request shirts for today's Friday. They need them by Sunday and they only want 10. That's easy for you to set up and do. You could eat dinner, pop it on, and do 10 shirts.
Yeah.
And be done before, dessert's ready. So
and the worst case is you make $12 profit per shirt. That's the worst case.
Yeah. And that's usually what we estimate.
Yeah. I mean, statistically, it's probably a little more than that statistically from when we survey out folks.
It just depends on how bad you want it. I know people making $20, $25 a shirt. It's crazy. People go on vacation. They go on a cruise. They go, hey, print me 5 shirts for the kids. And they'll pay $25, $29. They don't care. They're going on a cruise. They're already going to blow thousands of dollars anyway.
Yeah, good point. And the wedding business too. We've got a couple of videos where we did some really cool wedding favors with the 84, 32 and some easy peel paper. And being able to just take the wedding picture, just take the picture, put it on your computer, and put it on a block of wood, put it on a coaster, put it on a little directional sign, putting on a heart-shaped piece of wood and give it away as a keepsake for the wedding. Every single thing that you can do is a moneymaker and simple to do with that.
Yeah, and it can be done today, now.
Yeah, while you wait.
Yeah, while you wait, while you wait is huge, and our desire for waiting is becoming reduced as a society here, especially in the US. You can get anything you want really fast
on demand.
You can not leave your house and get everything you want brought right to you in an hour.
And
you know,
I tell everybody.
Yeah.
No, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Yeah, I was done.
No, I tell everybody that I would say 70% of our sales go to home businesses, and they just want to set up a part-time business.
yeah,
You'll be blown away on how many people start that part-time business, and before you know it, it's their full-time business.
yeah,
Because the nice thing is you don't have to keep adding more presses. I mean, more printers. You can just add more presses.
yeah, yeah.
So if
it gets to that point, if you can lease a system for $250,
something like that,
$250, $300, something like that. If you're making $50 a shirt, if you sell 20 shirts, after that, you're in the black for the month. So for a side hustle, it doesn't take a lot. You don't have to meet too many people or come up with too many clever ideas to turn it into extra cash.
Yeah.
Every time you sell a shirt, put a coaster in there for free. Do the exact same image, put it on a coaster, give it to the customer for free. And the next thing you know, they'll go, oh my God, you print coasters? And when you make a coaster for them the next time, put a mug in there. Just give them a free mug.
Yeah, we talk about the koozie all the time. Throw a koozie in an order.
Yep.
That's one of the things we always talk about.
Yep.
Well, I wanted to give a little bit of so I know that there's someone right now sitting here listening to this, or maybe they're listening to this with their significant other saying, we've been thinking about doing this. Should we do it? Just all that type of stuff. Or there's a business owner that's trying to think about what they do next. And maybe this is intriguing them. This is why they've gotten deep into this podcast. So like a public service thing about this is folks ask all the time, can I print on XYZ, right? And what's cool about this system is that the range of temperature you can print on is something like 230 to 330 degrees, something like that you can activate this toner onto a transfer and get it to transfer. That's a huge wide array of temperature. And then the time it takes to stick to things is going to be 15 seconds to, a minute or so. So there's a huge variable of what you can do that if you've got a material that's not, that if you've got a textile of any sort, you can figure out a way to get stuff to stick to adhere to it. If you've got a hard surface, you can figure out a way. There's so many combinations and so many materials that more times than less, the answer is yes.
Yeah.
And it's just really, really cool. And it's just a matter of if you want to do something innovative that you haven't heard of anybody else doing, but you can get it under a heat press or whatever it might be. You could be the first person doing something with this printer still, which is just like Randy mentioned, where he hears stuff like you print on what? We're still getting first leather people doing things, which is very cool. Yeah, leather is a cool one.
Yeah, we haven't done a demo with that. We have to.
We haven't done. I wanted to do like a, the front of like a bar stool seat or something like that.
Okay,
it's still an idea that I've got.
I'd like to have anybody on the podcast challenge me with something that I can't print on.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Forget what I can print on. I can't think of anything I can't.
Well, we can't get a live cat to sit still in the heat press. So
okay, you got me on that one.
You got a cat to sit in the UV printer.
No live animals or livestock or anything like that. Strictly items.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's a great challenge.
Well, good. I think we've shared a lot of information on here.
Yeah.
Mark, do you have anything else you want to touch before we wrap up?
No, I think really I've done as many commercials for using this product as I can. It's a great, honestly, it has revolutionized ColDesi's business. We used to be known as an embroidery company, embroidery machine company, and then we helped launch direct-to-garment printing into the United States, and then we brought in the Pro Spangle and the Spangle Elite, which are completely unique products that are now on cheerwear all over the country. Mm-hmm. We've got the last commercial rhinestone machine that's available in the United States, and all of those have been great, but nothing has really had the impact on the market that the Digital Heat FX line has and the Oki white toner printer. So if it has propelled ColDesi that much, I guarantee it'll do the same thing for you guys out there if you're thinking about starting a business.
It's really cool to talk to folks who have been in because we talk a lot about new businesses and small businesses and home businesses, right? But it's so interesting talking to folks out there who've been, screen printing for X many years. And they just realize that with the shift in business in their area or whatever it might be, that this solution completely changed what they do. And it made their business better. They've made them more profitable. It's really interesting hearing those stories.
Agreed.
Well,
Randy, any last words for us?
All I can tell you is if you ever go to any NBM shows or ISS shows or IS shows, as long as I'm breathing, I'll be at my booth, and you're welcome to come talk to me.
That's great. All right, everybody.
I don't have retirement in my plans.
Thanks to Randy Rickert.
Thank you, Randy.
The Pope of white toner printing. This has been Mark Stevenson from ColDesi.
And Mark Vila. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Randy Rickert, take care.